What's this?
Just something in the mail that came for you.
Oh, hopefully some fan mail. Cool. Mr. and Mrs. Script, along with Mr. and Mrs. Design, joyfully invite you. Not a fan mail. To celebrate love in full bloom in the wedding of their children, page 8 and page 9. No fancy long gowns or tuxedos. The pages are getting married.
This is
The Comics Diligence.
when a page meets another and they love each other. That's Amore.
L'amour. Nothing more beautiful than love. You know, when two pages are next to each other and they're so perfect together, might as well just make it a spread. On the last book, Renato Zequeto did so many amazing spreads, and now the bar is set really high for me, so I had to sit down, look at that script again, and really work on those thumbnails before I started sketching this page out, especially because a page usually takes me about 45 minutes each to sketch, and I knew that this being a spread page was going to take me a lot longer. So if I sketched something on a thumbnail scale beforehand, then it would probably cut some time. But you know, it didn't really matter. What it really comes down to is me being scared of drawing in front of the camera, afraid that I'm gonna mess it up. But guess what? In the end, when I finished the page itself, then I found some mistakes that I'm gonna show you in the end. To start off, I think I had about 10 pages planned for this spread sequence. But when I started reading the script and I read the first panel, I noticed there was a comma that separated the sentence, showing that the character would fall and, comma, he would hurry down to the bottom, right? So when I was working on the thumbnail and I read that, I thought to myself, well, every time I work in a movie or a TV show, whenever I'm left to my own devices to actually create a sequence without the director telling me what to do, I usually separate my beats or the rhythm that I'm going to create in every sequence by the commas that the writer used in the script. In this instance here, I wrote the thing, but when you're writing something and you're visualizing it in your head, you tend to throw in commas to separate actions without even thinking, you know, oh man, I could use this for another panel. At least I don't. I don't know, but probably a bunch of writers, they think about every detail possible. I don't. So I'll write a whole sentence, and then when I sit down to draw it, I'll notice that something could be a little different. And that's normal. I mean, even Renato on the last chapter of the book, he read a bunch of stuff that I wrote, and he would ask me, oh, do you think it would be better like this or that way and this way? And sometimes I'd say no, but sometimes I'd say, oh, absolutely, that would look amazing. It's normal to feel that way, to have to change stuff. So going back to the story, I ended up seeing that comma, and I realized that, oh shoot, I could add another panel right here, so I can show the first one, the guy is falling in that hole, and the second one, he's hurrying down. So I drew a little profile shot of him, you know, hurrying down, and then on the third panel, he hits the bottom, and it's a pile of stamps in this case, right? No, panel 4, he picks up the stamp, he looks at the stamp, and then you have a shot of the stamp showing what he's holding. And on the following one, he's outside of the chest again, where he fell inside, and he looks at it and is like, oh wait, the chest is different now. Oh, what the hell is happening? So he opens the chest again on the 6th panel, and then on the 7th panel, you see him opening the whole thing. By the way, I almost forgot to mention the mistake I made on this page. After he finds the stamp and looks at it, he's supposed to be outside of the chest looking at it, and then he opens the chest, and then he falls inside. And I had it the other way around, where he looks at the stamp, and all of a sudden he's already looking inside the chest, and then he's outside the chest, and then he falls inside. It doesn't make any sense, and I don't even know how I didn't see this before. But really, if I'm gonna be honest with you, the problem is that I got pretty anxious having to draw in front of the camera, and it goes to show that everyone makes mistakes also on their pages, and it doesn't take a lot of work to just fix it up like I did. I just picked those two panels right there on either side of the page and just flipped them, basically. Put one on the left and the other one on the right, and now he sees the stamp. You have a shot of the stamp. Now he's outside of the chest, and then the next frame he's actually opening a little crack and looking inside the chest again. From inside the chest, we have the point of view from inside the chest, and you just see a little crack and his eyes on the panel. And then on the following one, he's opening completely so he can finally fall inside the chest again. So there you go. That's how I fixed it. I always have to make sure that I go back, check, double check, triple check, and checkity check before I finish a page, because there's always going to be a mistake here and there. But mistakes are bound to happen, and I have to also remember to be nice to myself. We all make mistakes. That's why you got to remember to be nice to other people too. Same thing. That also reminds me to be nice to my pages. So be nice to your page. If you see your page next to another and they look like they belong to one another, join them in Matrimony. Just make a spread page. Heck, can you make an entire book of spread pages? Sure, why not? Will it look good? I don't know about that. But, if it makes your pages happier, then you might as well do it. And hopefully, you make something incredible out of it. I don't know what else to say to you. It's all about the love. Just make sure your pages love each other. And if they don't belong to each other, by the way, just don't. Just keep them separated. Some pages are just not meant to be together. Some pages, on the other hand, they just can't live without each other. On that note, I want to end this romantic episode about one page loving another and making a spread by wishing my wife, Destiny, a happy 15th anniversary. Also, happy birthday to my mother, because Cinco de Mayo is actually her birthday. Happy birthday, Mom. Happy anniversary, Destiny. I love you both. If you didn't subscribe to this channel yet, please do. It really helps it grow and reach out to other artists who otherwise wouldn't know about it. And if you enjoy the content of this video, please give it a little thumbs up, It really boosts my confidence, which, let's face it, I kind of need it sometimes. Look at it. I could barely even draw this page in front of the camera without collapsing completely on the ground crying. Oh, and check out how I flipped the frames over there. 1, 2, 3, now. It's a kind of magic. Bloody Perks Volume 1 is available now on Amazon. For more information on the graphic novel or me, visit my website. Talk to you later.